Hey, what's up developers, this is Sheldon and welcome back to iOS tutorials. Today we're not gonna actually talk about something so close to iOS. We would rather talk about something more related to Swift language itself. It's more like a discussion of what's the best practice of some certain scenario. Imagine that you want to write a function that return a string of name if you give an input as the ID. So basically we're going to find the name string by the given ID. It could be searching an array, it could be searching a database. But we can design our function in a few ways, and I'm going to show you kind of the best practice to me. As always, the finished project is available in the GitHub repository. I'm gonna post a link down in the video description, and if you like this video, please follow me on whatever social network that is showing in the screen, and let's get started. So actually I just simply create a single view controller that we will not have any UI elements in the UI storyboard. We're just gonna write a few functions. Like I mentioned in the beginning, we're gonna find name by a given ID. The first way you might think of is by this ID, if we can find the name, we just return the name, of course. But if we cannot find the name, we might return an empty string. In this case, we're gonna use probably let name is equal to find name, which is the first one I'm writing here. And let's see if we have a name. In this case, it's gonna return name, but any other ID, it will return an empty string. So to use this name, probably you need to check if name is not empty. We're gonna do something. So this is basically the first case. That's the first way I can think of for now. And for the second way is actually we can change the returning value a little bit. And if you can find the name, we're gonna return a string for sure. But if we cannot name, we would rather finish a name object. In this case, it's gonna be, let's name this as name1. Let name 2 is find name. Yeah, like I mentioned, we actually can take advantage of the A-flat and guard-like sentence because the second function we're writing here is returning a optional. So if name2 exists, in this case, I think this way makes more sense than the first one already, because we are leveraging the object itself instead of we are checking if the string is empty. So I think it's already better than the first case. But actually what I wanted to show you in this video is my personal preference. I think it's even better than the second one, which is returning an optional value. So basically, if you watch the function in line 50, you can find name by ID. Actually, we're putting a keyword that is called throws. And it's definitely not new stuff, but not too many developers are actually using it. Even myself, in some cases, I'm using the second way to write the function, but I think the third one is really better than that. Okay, so let's see. We're having a switch case here, and we're checking what's the ID value we're given. And if the first case, we're gonna return Sheldon. For all other cases, we're gonna actually throw a NS arrow. To define the NS arrow is pretty straightforward. You just type NS arrow and you just name your domain code user info if you want. So for my case, I don't need this much. By the way, if you want to use arrow instead of NS arrow, there will be a difficulty because arrow itself is just a protocol and it has no initializer. So that's why, because it's a protocol, you can directly use init function, and that's why you can only use NS arrow. That's already much better. Actually, let me show you like how to use this case. So we're gonna actually put name3 equal to find name 3 underscores here. Forgive my naming of the functions. And we're gonna put the input number here. Let's actually finish the first name1. The compiler will cry for sure because we are actually throwing a function, but we are not handling the error cases. And the first way to handle this is we put this arrow function in a do, and we are gonna catch the arrow, if arrow is coming. And to use this, you do need to put the try keyword here. I mean, the syntax look a little bit weird than whatever in Java or other languages, but basically this is the syntax. Of course, we're gonna have the ability to print any arrow that returns here. I mean, the arrow defined here is kind of hidden, but if you type arrow here, you can actually use this arrow to return value. And here, of course, we're gonna get a warning because we're not using name3. Let's print name3. All right. So in this case, we're actually having the ability to care about the arrow. The best thing of this do, try, and catch is actually if you don't care about the failure case, you can simply write this using a flat name3 is equal to y question mark find name. Basically, if you write your function this way, you will be having the freedom to do the similar thing, just like what we did for the optional case. It's already much better, but I think we are even having more freedom, which is if you scroll down to the bottom, you're gonna see the fourth item here, which is called find the name for and scores by ID and throws string. And as you can see, I'm actually able to define multiple exceptions here. So instead returning an NS arrow, I'm actually returning my custom type. And if you scroll down a little bit, you can see I'm using a enumeration that just confirm to the arrow, and I'm gonna throw it because you can throw arrow, and the NS arrow conforms to the arrow protocol. Of course, that's why you can throw it. And I'm defining actually 3 different exceptions, right? If it's less than or equal to 0, I'm gonna throw a floor exception. If it's greater than 100, I'm gonna throw a ceiling exception. If it's from 2 to 99, I'm gonna throw this invalid exception. So by using this, you can do let name4 is equal to try find name. We're gonna have to catch everything. So basically, we're gonna have to catch everything. For example, if it's a floor exception, if it's a ceiling exception, we can do this. If it's a invalid exception, we can do this. So basically, the arrow handling is such a beautiful thing. And yeah, we do forget to catch all the rest cases. And of course, if we can find the name, we're gonna print out the name. Okay, let's type the last case that if we don't want to catch, we can simply find name by whatever. And if you notice that actually name4 is only available in this scope, so that's why if you try to rename your variable as name4, the compiler won't complain. So let's quickly go through what we had here. So the first name, we're trying to find 00, and of course this won't be printed out. And the second one, it won't be printed out. Actually, let's see, let's put 1 here. It's gonna print Sheldon in this case because it can find the name. And the third one is gonna print Sheldon again, and it's gonna print Sheldon again here. And this one, it won't be print Sheldon again. This one, it won't be print Sheldon again. So basically, we're gonna have 1, 2, 3 Sheldon string printed out. If we quickly run our project, we will be able to see the result. Yes, the simulator is finished running, and as you guys can see, we're printing out 3 Sheldons. So again, this video tutorial is not that related to a iOS component, not like table view or collection view, but I think this short video is trying to help gain knowledge of what's the best way to design your functions. And of course, there's no right and wrong here, and you can choose your own. I mean, everybody has their own preference. Maybe some certain company has their company's preference, and maybe the second one is preferred in most cases. But I think that's because the third case or the fourth case using throws are not that well known. Please subscribe if you haven't yet, and if you like this video, please click like button as well as follow me in my GitHub account or whatever social account that you can see in the screen, and all the links are in the video description. So thanks for watching. I'm gonna see you soon in next tutorial. Bye.